She said it again. That line she'd been polishing for years, sharp enough to cut me clean. "You'll never be as good as your sister." The words slipped out of her mouth like poison she'd been savoring. I felt the old sting crawl up my throat, that familiar ache that used to silence me. But not tonight. I stood up from the dinner table, my hands steady on the edge of the chair. The whole family went quiet. Forks froze mid-air. I looked her dead in the eye and said, "Then ask her to pay your bills." The silence that followed was surgical. I watched her face twitch, a flicker of confusion, then humiliation. And for the first time, she didn't have a comeback. Growing up, I used to think my mother's love had rules, ones I could learn if I just tried hard enough. Good grades, perfect manners, polite smiles. But no matter what I did, my sister, Laura, always shined brighter. The prodigy, the favorite, the one who made her proud. I was the backup plan, the shadow, the one who was supposed to be more like Laura. So I tried. I mimicked her way of speaking, her posture, her laugh. Until one day, I realized I'd erased myself completely. And even then, Mom just sighed and said, "Don't force it, honey. You're just not like her." The irony was, Laura wasn't perfect, not even close. Behind the photos, the degrees, the staged smiles, she was drowning. Debt, affairs, a crumbling marriage, all hidden under that successful daughter veneer my mother adored. And while she was sinking, I was building, quietly, working 2 jobs, saving every dime, investing when no one was watching. It wasn't glamour, it was grit, and it paid off. 3 years later, when Laura's house was foreclosed, Mom called me, voice trembling with fake cheer. "She's just going through a rough patch," she said. "Be supportive. Family sticks together." I transferred money, covered her debts, paid the bills Mom pretended didn't exist. And every time I got a thank you from Laura, but never a word from her. Not once. The breaking point wasn't loud, it was quiet. A call from the bank informing me that Mom had taken a second mortgage, in my name. Forged signature. All to help Laura get back on her feet. I didn't explode. I didn't cry. I just went still. That stillness is where my revenge began. I spent the next 6 months undoing what she'd done, one document at a time. I contacted the bank, filed the fraud report, closed her access. Then I started digging. Her utilities, her credit cards, her health insurance, all in my control. Quietly, systematically, I took back everything she'd used to manipulate me. And while she thought I was helping her manage the finances, I was moving every asset to a trust, under my name. The house, the savings, the accounts, everything she'd ever leveraged for control. Piece by piece, I reclaimed it. When I was done, I invited her and Laura to dinner, just like old times. The air was thick that night. Mom sat at the head of the table, wine in hand, smiling like she owned the room. Laura looked tired, defeated almost. We ate in silence until Mom looked at me with that sneer. "So," she said, swirling her glass, "when are you going to start making something of yourself, huh? You'll never be as good as your sister." That was it. The cue, the line that brought everything full circle. I stood, slow and deliberate. "Then, ask her to pay your bills." The words sliced through the air. Her smirk faltered. "What?" she whispered. I slid the envelope across the table. Inside, every unpaid bill, every revoked account, every legal document showing her new reality. Her name nowhere, mine everywhere. Her hand trembled as she flipped through them. What is this?" I leaned in, calm, almost tender. "It's called accountability." Laura stared at me wide-eyed. "Wait, you took everything?" "No," I said softly. "I took back what was already mine." She didn't say a word after that. Neither of them did. Mom's power evaporated that night, not with screaming, but with silence. The kind that makes people realize they're no longer feared. I left them sitting there, surrounded by the wreckage of their own entitlement. And as I closed the door behind me, I felt something I hadn't felt in years. Light. People think revenge is loud, dramatic. It isn't. It's quiet. It's walking away while they're still trying to understand how you beat them. And when Mom's friends ask her why she and I don't speak anymore, she just says, "We had a disagreement." She's right. We did. She believed love was conditional. I proved independence wasn't. And sometimes the most satisfying sound in the world is silence, after you finally said enough.